It's a trap!
I'm gonna come.
Ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages, it's that time once again. It's time for Mild's Culture Plate. I am your host, Mild Kevin Miles, and it is Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. And you're locked in for some news. Come on in, click that thumbs up button, click that like button, and start chatting, folks. Start chatting away. Let me know you're out there. Because, the show kind of sucks when y'all ain't out there. Anyway, so we have a packed show today. We're going to be talking about the mass pew pew events that have happened recently. We're going to be talking about bird flu in California. We're going to be talking about Chinese spies. And we're going to be talking about all these bills our Congress is trying to cram down our throat before the holidays. And yeah, we have a packed show. Let me start off with a little. I was gonna do a little more extensive coverage on the UAP drone whatever phenomenon happening in New Jersey and along the East Coast, but quite frankly, everyone's covering it. There's a recent video here. Let me go ahead and bring this up. Shout out to UAP James. Yeah. Who posted this video.
Just why does it have to be a classified briefing if these are just hobbyist drones? They're not military drones. Why is it a classified briefing on the Capitol Hill?
I don't. I'd have to refer you to Congress on that.
So yeah, if there's nothing to be concerned about, then why are you meeting in secret to discuss it under strict national security? Trump has put out that the government knows, the government's not saying anything, and this is on purpose. Either the government's doing something nefarious, or the government wants us to believe that other people are doing something nefarious. Let's go ahead and continue to listen.
Again, sharing as much information as we can here. I don't have the briefing in front of me, so I can't tell you specifically, what aspects are classified or not. I can assure you, though, that again, we are sharing as much information as we can based on what we know.
Just
All right, we're sharing as much information as we can. Bullshit. Excuse me. You know what? I got a button for that actually.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to incorporate the sound effects in a little more now that I've figured out how to make it happen. So, what do you folks think? Feel free to let me know in the comments what you think these drones are. We kind of showed some of the weird videos on the last show. Not really many of them. We showed a weird video, but this idea, this narrative that's being spread. First, it was Iranian spy drones, and then now we're being told it's hobby drones, and there's been this speculation thanks to the New Jersey mayor, what's his name, Michael Melham, Belleville, New Jersey, claiming that no, this is clearly a government operation and they're lying to us all, and that they're sniffing for potential nuclear material. We'll see, man. I don't know. But, we do know that whatever the issue is, that our government and media is going to use it to create fear. They're going to use it to create a crisis that we need more government and media to respond to. It's the classic problem reaction solution. Create a narrative about a problem, manufacture a reaction to it, and then have a prepackaged solution ready. And Congress is already talking about over-regulating the drone activity on the East Coast. So, if more government is what you think needs to happen, rest assured they're fucking trying. And speaking of government narratives, we're used to now in this country, we're really used to hearing narratives about pew pew events at schools. Once again, this is CNN's coverage of the Madison, Wisconsin school pew pew. Police have identified the pew pew in Monday's attack on Madison, Wisconsin private school as a 15-year-old female student as they investigate the latest pew pew to devastate an American community. Natalie Ruppnow, who went by Samantha, was found deceased when officers responded to Abundant Life Christian School. Evidence suggested she died of a self-inflicted pew pew wound. Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes said at a news conference on Monday. A staff member and another student were deceased in the attack, while 6 others were injured, police have said, including 2 students hospitalized in critical condition. While victims recover, authorities are examining the background of this individual, probing writings allegedly connecting to her and tracing the history of the pew pew she used. Investigators' top priority is determining their motive, Barnes said at a news conference Tuesday afternoon, but at this time it appears the motive was a combination of factors, he said. He declined to provide more details. Police are speaking to students to determine if bullying was a factor. Some have asked if people were specifically targeted. Everyone was targeted in this incident, and everyone was in equal danger, he added. Authorities are aware, the chief said, of a document that had been widely shared on social media. This time we cannot verify its authenticity, the chief said. We have detectives working today to determine where this document originated and who actually shared it online. Police are also examining this person's online activity, Barnes told reporters. Officials are not releasing, quote, specifics about the social media accounts, but he encouraged anyone who knew this person or had insight into her feelings to contact investigators. It's relatively rare for a pew pew to be a female. CNN has documented 83 pew pews at schools in 2024 and 59 in which the gender identity was available. Only 2 were female. The others were lone males or groups of males. See, this is why I can't take CNN seriously. Why I can't take any leftists seriously. Because gender's not a binary, you bigots. And male and female aren't genders. They're sexes. They're biological sexes. So why are we not talking about biological sex? Why are we actually trying to talk about gender when we're conflating the two here? Fucking bigots. I'm just kidding. Police have said they used a handgun to carry out the attack. The history is being traced by BATF. We've asked our partners with the ATF to expedite what's called an ATF trace to try and determine the origin of that weapon, who purchased it, how it got from a manufacturer to the hands of a 15-year-old girl. News Central, Barnes told CNN News Central on Tuesday. These are questions that are going to take some time to answer. Rupnow's father posted a Facebook photo in August of his daughter at a shooting range. Jeff Rupnow's cover photo in August shows his daughter pew-pewing at Skeet. She can be seen wearing a black shirt for the band KMFDM. German industrial rock band's lyrics were cited by the students who carried out the 1999 pew-pew at Columbine, where 13 people were deceased. KMFDM issued a statement condemning the 1999 attack and expressed sympathies for their victims, adding that their music was intended to stand against violence, according to Reuters. In the comment on the photo, Jeff Rupnow replied to someone who asked whether the person in the photo is his child. He wrote, "Sure is. We joined NBSC this spring and have been loving every second of it," which is North Bristol Sportsman's Club in Dane County. CNN's asked them for comment. Rupnow's family is cooperating with police, Barnes said on Monday, acknowledging a heavy police presence at the home on the north side of Madison was related to the pew-pew. Rupnow's parents have been married and divorced twice, with court orders requiring the team to split time between her mother and father's home, according to court records obtained by CNN on Wednesday. The parents have not responded to repeated requests for comment. It's unclear whether the parents owned or possessed the gun used in the pew-pew, Barnes told CNN. Police, together with the DA's office, will, quote, want to look at the parent at if the parents have been negligent. One moment, I gotta plug something in here. Gotta get some power to a device. Have things dying on me. Don't die on me. At this time, that does not appear to be the case. Federal and Wisconsin law generally make it illegal for someone younger than 18 to possess a pew-pew. Remember, they initially tried to get Kyle Rittenhouse on this Wisconsin law, and it was determined that he wasn't hunting. State law similarly makes it illegal for any person to intentionally sell, loan, or give a dangerous weapon to someone under 18. There are exceptions, like Kyle Rittenhouse. Wisconsin also has a child access pew pew law that makes it illegal to recklessly store a loaded firearm within reach or easy access to a child younger than 14. Well, this person was older than 14. Why does that matter? Prosecutors in recent years have taken steps to hold accountable parents. Yeah. Anyway, so a lot of the scuttlebutt around the writing, right? It mentioned some writings that were uncovered. I guess another individual had uploaded some spicy words to a Google Drive account purported to be hers after the self-deletion happened. And a lot of the writing kind of leans toward some frustrations with the male-female dynamic in her community. And she's posted a lot of things on social media about radical feminism. These are the reports I've heard. My prayers go out to the families. And, again, the other staff member and student, and even Natalie's parents, and family and loved ones. It's unfortunate that mental health has taken such a serious turn in this country, where these political disagreements or social disagreements become so heavy on youngsters that ultimately they fucking snap. And granted, there's the whole conversation we could have about different medications that could contribute to mental health breaks. I'm not going to necessarily do that today, but I'm sure they'll wind up finding a motive, and I'm sure they're not going to tell us. Anyway, speaking of mass shootings, this wasn't the only mass shooting in the last 48 hours, or 3 days, I should say. 36 hours, or yeah. Baltimore. Police provide update on Towson mass shooting that left 1 dead and several injured. Baltimore County Police has been the scene of Tuesday's mass pew-pew since calls came in around 7:15. 1 person is deceased and 9 others hurt when, for unknown reasons, the minivan they were riding in came under fire. The van flipped on its side and caught on fire as it landed outside a funeral home. Police said during a news conference on Wednesday they're not ruling out retaliation as a motive for the pew-pew. Police confirmed Wednesday that first responders found 9 people outside the minivan. 8 had been wounded, and 1 26-year-old Charles Graham Jr. was deceased at the scene. At this point in time, nothing has been ruled out, said Police Chief Robert McCullough. We're taking a look at all serious crimes that have occurred in that area. Hey, we got Shut Up I Can Cook over on YouTube. Welcome and cheers. Uh-oh. That didn't play through the... There we go. Damn cord's getting loose. Cheers and welcome. Good seeing you out there. Okay, so speaking of crimes that have occurred in that area, Andrew Blessing, a 19-year-old, was killed in December 10th in a Loch Raven home. The Ring video camera captured as many as 20 shots were fired inside the home, along with suspects fleeing. It's been told to me that they all know each other, and somehow they may have known the individual Blessing and his family, McCullough said. According to investigators, the mass pew-pew started on White Oak Avenue, as many as 6 blocks from the funeral home where it ended. 11 News obtained surveillance video that shows the minivan crashing, including one person running toward the vehicle. Flashes of gunfire can be seen. Then the person, along with 3 others, drives away. These acts are shockingly and completely out of character for what happens and how we expect our communities to be safe in Baltimore County, said County Executive Johnny Olszewski. So there you go. Cookie says, these white boys, I'm not sure if they were white. Let me Google this Charles Graham Jr. I'm trying, folks. Trying to see if I can find. Cookie says she's boycotting me. Yeah, I'm not seeing pictures of the victim, which is weird because you'd think, like, oh, here we go. Yeah, here's the victim. Allegedly. Again, not sure if that's accurate, but that's purported to be the victim by random Instagram posts. See, Cookie thinks I want her. Says LOL, tells me to put my hair up. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Don't have anything to put it up in down here in the office. So, we ready for round 2, folks, of the lockdowns and vaccines and stuff like that? Are we ready for round 2? Let's look in on what's going on in California right now. California declares first statewide emergency over bird flu. Declaration comes the same day as first severe case found in a human outside of the state. California on Wednesday declared a statewide emergency over bird flu, with Gavin Newsom warning that, quote, conditions of extreme peril to the safety of persons and property meant greater efforts were needed to defeat the spread. Quote, local authority is inadequate to cope with the magnitude of the damage caused by bird flu, Newsom said in his declaration. Declaration comes after months of efforts by one of the nation's largest milk-producing states to contain the spread largely on dairy farms to the general population, with 34 human cases reported in California since March. More than 600 dairies have detected cases across the state, mostly in heavy agricultural Central California region. Newsom said the detection on December 12th of the flu to cows in Southern California necessitated a shift from regional containment to statewide monitoring and response. This makes California the first state to issue such a sweeping declaration after Colorado announced a targeted emergency in one county, according to Newsom's deputy communications director, Elena Ross. The CDC also on Wednesday reported the first severe case of avian flu in a person, maintained it has not become endemic in the country, and there's yet to be an instance of human-to-human transmission. Newsom's office said nearly all human cases in California had exposure to infected cattle. The state of emergency means more involvement from the California Office of Emergency Services, as well as state support for regional authorities on staffing, supplies, and other services. Certain labor rules for state workers, such as work hour limitations, are also relaxed. The new Health Secretary of California, Kim Johnson, told Politico last week that she's confident in how the state is handling the outbreaks. And while the risks to general population remain low, quote, we know the viruses can change and gain the ability to spread more easily. Well, that's if they come in contact with Dr. Fauci, right? Cookie wants to come on. Cookie wants to come on. I'm not sure how I would give you the link since I don't have any of your information. Demon's Wrath over on Rumble. Let's see here. Cheers and welcome, my friend. Says, what's up, homie? Well, what's up with me? Let's see. Just trying to save up a bunch of money. Try not to use the holidays and all of these new comic books being on sale as an excuse to unload my savings account because I'm trying to build it up so that I could take some vacations next year. I definitely have a lot of things planned. Demon's Wrath says, Cookie's fixing to drool on the mic. Cookie says, mild white boy put me on. I'm not sure how I could do it. Okay, so we're used to being lied to, right? Now, you remember how we had this entire election season where everything Trump said was happening. You had the mainstream media fact checking him in real time during debates and telling us that what we thought might be going on based on what we see on social media, right? That, oh no, that's just the internet. That stuff's not really happening. If it was happening, we would know about it. Right? You had the whole Springfield, Ohio with the dogs and the cats. It wasn't happening, except we found out, yeah, there were a few incidents where that kind of stuff might happen. But more importantly, we covered on this show several cases involving the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. We did damn near a whole show about Tren de Aragua here on this program. And of course, the media came out later and was like, "Oh yeah, there's no problem." The police said, "Oh, we've never had any incidents at that apartment complex." You had the mayor of Denver saying, "Oh, it's not an issue," and the mayor of Denver now is, threatening the Trump administration that he's not going to comply with deportation efforts. Even though just outside of Denver, you have Aurora, Colorado, where we saw all these reports. Reports like this newest one from Fox News, Madison Colombo. Aurora official is livid after suspected migrant gang members are detained in a home invasion. Quote, I told you so. City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky feels vindicated after months of warnings. 19 suspected members of Tren de Aragua detained this week following a violent home invasion that left 2 Aurora residents hospitalized. The incident has sparked renewed outrage from City Councilwoman Danielle Jurinsky, who has long warned about rising migrant-related crime in the city. This is unfortunate. Not something you would be able to say I told you so on, but I told you so, Jurinsky said during an interview on Fox and Friends Wednesday. Quote, nobody wanted to listen to me. This pretty much turned into political theater leading up to the election. Many people have suffered. According to Aurora Police Chief Todd Chamberlain, the suspect entered an apartment in a complex that had previously been the center of gang-related violence. The suspects then allegedly took 2 victims to another unit where they were beaten, pistol whipped, and threatened. Quote, this isn't just assault, this isn't just fistfights, this is absolute torture, said Jurinsky, referencing claims that the female victim's fingernails were forcibly removed. A male victim suffered a stab wound. Both are expected to recover. Chief Chamberlain, who took office in September, described the attack as, quote, a gang incident during a press conference Tuesday, but stopped short of confirming what group the suspects were affiliated with. So does this fall into the category of torture for me? Yeah, it does, he said. Cookie put me on pause. Should we wait for Cookie to come back? Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to wait for somebody who has me on pause. Jurinsky's been vocal about her concerns regarding a migrant-related crime, particularly the growing presence of TDA. Violent gang originated in Venezuela. A previous incident in the same complex involving TDA members pounding on doors and brandishing weapons gained national attention earlier this year. Once Americans were moved out of the complex, this is the most vulnerable population left. These are other migrants. Some of them don't even realize where they are. They were simply dropped off in the middle of the night in some cases. The gang's footprint in the U.S. has raised alarms at local and federal levels. Congressman Troy Nehls of Texas recently stated the TDA now operates in 17 states. Members of the gang have also been linked to other high-profile crimes, including the murder of Lake and Riley. Okay, we got anything else important to this? Okay. During an October 11th rally in Aurora, Donald Trump announced Operation Aurora, a plan to target undocumented immigrants with gang ties. He said he intends to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to expedite the removal of these savage gangs. While Jurinsky remains critical of the city's previous leadership, she expressed support for Chief Chamberlain's transparency and commitment to tackling the issue. Cookie wants to show her legs. I don't know where you're going to post these. I don't have access to many things here. For now, Aurora residents wait to see whether these arrests will mark a turning point in the fight against TDA and other violent groups infiltrating the city. All right. So there you have it. Just more peaceful Colorado living. It's not like we're being invaded or anything. It's only a matter of time before the Venezuelans need a police force for themselves. Because, that's something that apparently migrants do. Chinese spy who ran secret police station in New York City for Beijing faces 5 years in prison after a guilty plea. This is from the New York Post's Kyle Schnitzer and Ben Kochman. A Chinese spy who ran a secret police station in Manhattan to help Beijing target government dissidents faces up to 5 years in prison after pleading guilty Wednesday to acting as an illegal foreign agent, federal prosecutors say. Chen Jinping, 60, admitted in Brooklyn federal court to conspiring to act on behalf of the People's Republic of China without telling United States authorities. Chen fessed up to removing an online article about the alleged police station, which prosecutors say occupied a full floor of a Chinatown building near the Manhattan Bridge for his Beijing handlers in September of 2022. I knowingly agreed to act as a foreign agent for a foreign government, he told Janina Morrison, the judge, while speaking through an interpreter. But he acted cagey when the judge asked him which government he was working for. Chen briefly tried in vain to sidestep the question by repeating the government and only admitted he'd been representing China after he was pressed again by the judge. At the time I did this, I did not inform the Attorney General that I was acting as a foreign agent and I was not registered as a foreign agent, he added. Chen and his alleged partner, Harry Lu Jingwang, 61, were arrested in April 2023 and charged with opening the since-closed covert outpost early in 2022. Lu, whose case is still pending, allegedly helped Chinese security officials locate dissidents who were living in the U.S., the papers claim. They tried to cover up their crimes by deleting their communications with an official of the Chinese Ministry of Public Security after learning that they were under investigation, the feds allege. The arrests were part of what prosecutors at the time called a sweeping crackdown on Beijing's influence in the campaign in the U.S. Wow. Wait, they're wearing NYPD patches. Chen is set to be sentenced on May 30th. The prosecution reveals the Chinese government's flagrant violation of our nation's sovereignty by establishing a secret police station in the middle of NYC. U.S. Attorney for Eastern District Brayon Peace said in a statement at the time. Peace said Wednesday that Chen's guilty plea reflects a priority of his office to counteract the malign activities of foreign government that violate our nation's sovereignty. Wow. I am police officer. You like police. I investigate. Cookie says she's going to put the picture in Nick's chat. I'm no longer in Nick's chat. I don't have access. I don't pay for it. Speaking of LawTube, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Speaking of LawTube, I'm not going to necessarily do the typical thing here. Yes, I did hear the news that content creator and beloved member of the LawTube community, Legal Vices, aka Jeff, had passed away of a heart failure. And I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time memorializing him. But I do want to say, prayers for his loved ones and rest in peace, buddy. He didn't really have anything good to say to me the few times I interacted with him online. So it is what it is. But he was at least, he seemed like a very pleasant person with a lot of smiles. And like I said, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time memorializing him. But it is definitely a loss to the world and in particular the content creation community. I know he helped out a lot of people who weren't necessarily as popular as he was. And, again, cheers. Cookie says men die young if they don't have a loving woman. Huh. Well, women love the hell out of me. Does that mean I'm going to live forever? Uh-oh. What is that? Do you guys hear that? All of a sudden, I started hearing a ringing. So, have you guys seen any of what our Congress critters are up to? There have been like a barrage of stories about our Congress over the past couple days. And, we had this whole situation with Trump trying to get Matt Gaetz confirmed as Attorney General. And eventually, after a bunch of scrutiny and people talking about ethics complaints, Matt Gaetz stepped down from the nomination. And during that time period, there were a lot of people, including myself, saying, hey, release the reports, release the reports. And then Congress said, no, we're not going to release the reports. Today, let's see, I'm not sure who Cookie was talking about, a spy like Jack Bauer. Maybe the Chinese guy. And then, women love me because they want to run their fingers through my hair. That would be awesome. I would make Mild never cheat again. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a cheater. I never would, never could. Women cheat on their husbands with me. I don't cheat. I don't cheat. Anyway, so now the Health Ethics Committee secretly voted to release Matt Gaetz' ethics report, the source says. So House Ethics Committee voted in secret to release the long-awaited ethics report into Matt Gaetz, raising the possibility that allegations against the Florida Republican could be made public in the coming days. The decision by the bipartisan committee was made earlier this month, according to a person familiar with the vote who is not authorized to publicly discuss the matter and spoke on condition of anonymity Wednesday. CNN first reported the vote. Cookie says liars. So yeah, let me. Oh dear Lord, and my soundboard rebooted because my phone shut down because it had been a while since I pushed it.
Lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Cookie says bye. So goodbye. Goodbye. Anyway, stunning turnaround for the often secretive panel of 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats. Just last month, members voted along party lines to not release the findings of the 4-year investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct with minors and use of illicit drugs while Gaetz was in office. Democrats had pressed to make the report public. Some Republicans were pushing for it too. Even though Gaetz was no longer in Congress and had withdrawn as Trump's pick to lead the Justice Department, a vote on the House floor this month to force the report's release failed. All but one Republican voted against it. Cookie says, I'm lying. I don't lie. I'm vigilantly honest. Vigilantly honest. That's why I don't cheat. Gaetz lashed out Wednesday on social media against the latest development, again denying any wrongdoing. He criticized the committee for its move after he had left Congress, saying he would have, quote, no opportunity to debate or rebut as a former member of the body. It's embarrassing, not criminal, that I probably partied, womanized, drank, and smoked more than I should have earlier in life, Gaetz posted on X. I live a different life now. Most Republicans have argued that any congressional investigation ended when he resigned from the House. Speaker Johnson also requested that the committee not publish his report, saying it would set a terrible precedent. While ethics reports have previously been released after a member's resignation, it is rare. Gaetz noted that the Justice Department's separate investigation into sex trafficking allegations involving underage girls ended last year without federal charges. One-time political ally Joel Greenberg, a fellow Republican who served as the tax collector in Seminole County, admitted as part of a plea deal with prosecutors that he paid women and an underage girl to have sex with him and other men. The men were not identified in the documents when he pled guilty. Greenberg was sentenced in late 2022 to 11 years. That was from the AP's Farnoosh Amiri. From the AP with a focus on foreign policy and congressional investigations. But that's not all. Mild asked me what I did 'cause off booze today. Well, you should be off booze today. I'm off booze all the time now. I can't remember, like the last time I drank whiskey was on one of the live streams here. It was quite a few weeks ago, and I had one little glass, and it had been like months before that. So you should be off booze. Also from the AP, government funding plan collapses as Trump makes new demands days before a shutdown. Ask me what I did because I was tipsy. What did you do when you were tipsy? Did you cause a dude to cheat on his wife? President-elect Trump abruptly rejected a bipartisan plan Wednesday to prevent a Christmas-time government shutdown. instead telling House Speaker Mike Johnson and Republicans to essentially renegotiate days before the deadline when federal funding runs out. Trump's sudden entrance into the debate and new demands sent Congress spiraling as lawmakers are trying to wrap up work and head home for the holidays. It leaves Johnson scrambling to engineer a new plan before Friday's deadline to keep government open. Guess never. Oh, did you flash someone? All right. So let me just say, how fucking hypocritical. We want to keep government open, but not this part of government because we're going home for the holidays. That's awesome. Ladies, use Cookie as an example. Random men, it's not cheating to show random men your chest. And, yeah, you just got to keep trying, Cookie. The president-elect made an almost unrealistic proposal that combined the sum continuation of government funds along with a much more controversial provision to raise the nation's debt limit, something his own party routinely rejects. Anything else is a betrayal of our country, they wrote. That's Trump and Vance. Democrats decried the GOP revolt over the stopgap measure, which have also provided some $100 billion in disaster aid to states hammered by hurricanes Helene and Milton and other natural disasters. House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government, said Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries. Hurt the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. Already, the massive 1,500-page bill was on the verge of collapse as hard-right conservatives rejected the increased spending, egged on by Elon Musk, who rejected the plan as soon as it was released on Tuesday night. Rank-and-file lawmakers complained about the extra spending, which includes their first pay raises in more than a decade. A shock after one of the most unproductive, chaotic sessions in modern times. A number of Republicans were waiting for Trump to signal whether they should vote yes or no. Even the addition of much-needed disaster aid, some $100.4 billion in the aftermath of the hurricane. Oh my God, come on, AP. Failed to win over the budget-slashing GOP. This should not pass, Musk posted. And then here, let me just bounce over real quick here. Elon Musk, your elected representatives have heard you, and now the terrible bill is dead. The voice of the people have triumphed. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. And then here we have Representative Chad Pergram, wait, who is this guy? Oh, congressional correspondent for Fox News, my bad. Representative Barr on the continuing resolution. The phone was ringing off the hook today, and you know why? Because people were reading the tweets. The ex from Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who were telling me that they were listening to them. This shows the influence that the President Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Vivek Ramaswamy have in this process before they're even in office. The American people elected Trump, and the American people want us to pay attention to that election and the election results, and so we got to work. This is an important lesson for the new unified Republican majority, that we have to work. I do think the path forward is a skinny continuing resolution where you take the 100 pages that the Appropriations Committee produced and everything else falls out. I think that included the disaster. I'm assuming he means funding. Cookie says, Asian men ready. Asian men ask her to dinner. She's blaming me for banning her. No, I'm not banning you. You just got to click that. You got to, where it says top chat at the top, you got to click it and show, click all chat. And then so Elon Musk says, yes, the voice of the people was heard. This was a good day for America. So there you have it, folks. 1,500 bills, or 1,500 page bill rather. And then you had this classic moment here.
I should give them more money.
What about the media? Think about that for a second.
And we're not paid by public money.
I know you're not, but I mean, half of your listeners are not there anymore. You're still getting the same paycheck? What's going on?
Well, I should give them more money.
What about
CNN asks Dick Durbin why lawmakers deserve a pay raise. And he says, what about the media? Now, granted, fuck Dick Durbin. But at the same time, fuck CNN journalists. Like, none of you deserve money. None of you. So this wasn't the only controversial, massive bill that has been skyrocketing through the halls of Congress amongst our holiday season, amongst our preparations for a new, a new administration about to come in, our new government. And we recently had the National Defense Authorization Act. That here we go. Here's from Reuters, Patricia Zingarelli. Now, I'm sure there are other articles that talk about the National Defense Authorization Act. I fucking hate the National Defense Authorization Act, and every time it comes up for renewal, I beg my Congress critters not to pass it, and every single time it passes overwhelmingly.
It's a trap.
So here we go. The U.S. Senate voted overwhelmingly. So this article is defense bill passes Congress despite transgender provision. So, you know, anytime we do okay, get the fuck out. Anytime we do a bill that a news story that talks about transgenders, I'm going to try to play that little. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Senate voted overwhelmingly for an $895 billion bill setting policy for the Pentagon on Wednesday. $895 billion, even though they still can't pass a fucking audit. 8 straight audits in a row. Failed. But let's give them another $895 billion. It passed despite the inclusion of a controversial provision on transgender medical care for minors. The 100-member Senate backed the NDAA 85-14. Since it passed the House of Representatives last week, this approval sends it to the White House, where supporters say President Joe Biden is expected to sign it into law. This year's NDAA authorizes a record $895 billion in annual military spending, covering purchases of ships, aircraft, and weapons, including provisions needed to boost competitiveness with geopolitical rivals like China and Russia. The 1,800-page bill also focuses on improving the quality of life for military. It authorized a 14.5% pay increase for lowest-ranking troops and 4.5% for the rest of the force, higher than usual. It also authorizes billions for military housing, school, and child care centers. The bill bans the military health program TRICARE from covering gender-affirming care for the transgender children of service members if it could risk sterilization. a provision that caused some Democrats to vote no. Cookie wants to kick my butt Jack Bauer style. So yeah, Democrats pro sterilization of the children of our military members. Remember that. The NDAA is not perfect, but still makes several important advances Democrats fought for, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said in the Senate before the vote. Including the transgender provision in a bill setting policy for the DoD, underscored transgender issues have become a focus in U.S. politics. Trump and other Republicans made support for transgender rights a major point of attack on Democrats during the election. The NDAA passed the House last week, 281 to 140, with dozens of Democrats voting no. The NDAA increases assistance to Israel and allows the expansion of military resources to prevent migrants from crossing the southern border from Mexico. On Ukraine, it requires only a report on Defense Department efforts on lessons learned from the conflict, reflecting growing reluctance from Trump's fellow Republicans to keep assisting Ukraine, although the NDAA has not been the vehicle for aid to Kyiv. NDAA is a compromise between Democrats and Republicans in the House and Senate reached during weeks of negotiations behind closed doors. It did not include some other Republicans' proposals on social issues, including an effort to prohibit TRICARE from covering gender-affirming care for trans adults. Massive bill is one of the few major pieces of legislation Congress passes every year, and lawmakers take pride in having passed it annually for more than 6 decades. The NDAA authorizes Pentagon programs but does not fund them. Congress must separately pass funding in the spending bill that we're now debating today for the fiscal year ending September 2025. That bill is unlikely to be enacted before March. Okay, maybe that's a different bill. Oh, this is Patricia Zingarelli. So thank you, Reuters, for that one. But Congress isn't done yet. Congress isn't done. Mild, find out how to let me join your next show. I have all my social media down in the description. Senate Democrats are rushing to push through. Oh, I'm sorry. Shit. I didn't bring it up. From the Daily Mail, James Cirone. Democrats hastily trying to push through a bill that would cost the average couple $25,000 ahead of Trump's presidency. Pushing through a Social Security reform bill ahead of Trump taking office that one group estimated would cost the average couple $25,000 in benefits. Social Security Fairness Act would repeal 2 provisions that currently reduce payouts to public sector employees like cops, firefighters, teachers, and postal workers. The Committee for a Responsible Budget, a bipartisan think tank, argued this change would make Social Security insolvent 6 months earlier than current projections. It would do this by giving increased benefits to nearly 3 million retirees who paid into state or local pension plans in lieu of paying Social Security, according to the group. As a result, we estimate typical dual income retiring in 2033 would see their benefits cut by an additional $25,000 over their lifetime, with over $8,000 of that additional cut coming in the roughly half a year of advanced insolvency, the group wrote. If Social Security runs out of money under the bill reforms, the think tank said the average couple could lose out on as much as $400,000 in lifetime benefits. It cited the Congressional Budget Office, which estimated the bill would cost the federal government more than $190 billion over the next decade. The bill already passed 327 to 75 in the House last month. Fun times, fun times. And Rand Paul, I mean, we already talked about this, but Rand Paul said he will block the omnibus spending bill if it clears the House, but it did not, leading to a government shutdown if not passed by Friday. And the final story of the day, because I really have to go use the bathroom. A hunter in Virginia has died after a bear shot in a tree fell on him. A Virginia man has died after a bear. You know what? Let me just put you on pause for just a minute. I'm going to go to the restroom and come right back. In the meantime, let's let's listen to some Christmas music. Okay, sorry folks. Oh, did it only play the once? Oh no, there it is. Hey, there I am. Hey, okay. Uh-oh. Why is my mic buzzing? Sounds like my mic is buzzing. Am I just hearing that? Okay. Nah, I was hallucinating. It was louder than I thought. Cookie, you still there? Paul. What about Paul? Anyway, Virginia man has died after a bear in a tree shot by one of his hunting partners fell on him, wildlife officials said. The incident occurred in Lunenburg County, which is between Richmond and Danville. Virginia's Department of Wildlife Resources said in a statement. The hunting group was following the bear when it ran up a tree. As the group retreated from the tree, the hunter shot the bear. The animal fell onto another hunter who was standing about 10 feet from the bottom of the tree. The department identified the man as Lester Harvey, 58, of Phoenix, Virginia. A member of the group rendered first aid before Harvey was rushed to 2 different hospitals and died from his injuries Friday, Wildlife Department stated. An obituary for Harvey, a married father of 5 with 8 grandchildren, said he was a self-employed contractor and avid outdoorsman. Similar incidents have occurred in recent years. In 2018, a man in Alaska was critically injured after his hunting partner shot a bear on a ridge. The animal tumbled down a slope onto the man, who was also struck by rocks dislodged by the bear. Another man was injured in 2019 after his hunting partner shot a bear in a tree in North Carolina. The bear fell out of the tree and began biting the hunter. The man and the animal then tumbled off a cliff. The hunter was taken to a hospital while the bear was later found dead. Cookie's going to sleep. Why am I hearing feedback in the damn... Oh, that's why. Sorry about that feedback noise, folks. It was really bothering me. But apparently it was just a power cord laying next to my audio interface. Cookie's saying I'm censoring her. Okay. Folks, let's see. What else do we have on the program here? I kind of rushed through those last couple of stories. Let's see. Biolab debate. Let's see what's about Biolab. Apparently, Biolab's involved in the spinning bill too. Oh, okay, here we go. Libs of TikTok. You know, I don't really love using them as a source, but Libs of TikTok here. New congressional resolution bill includes funding for at least 12 new biolabs. Secretary of Health and Human Services, referred to in this section as Secretary, shall make awards to establish, maintain, as applicable, no fewer than 12 regional biocontainment laboratories for the purpose of conducting biomedical research to support public health and medical preparedness for and in rapid response to biological agents, including emerging infectious diseases. So there you have that. Billions to essentially generate the new the next pandemic, because apparently the bird flu happening in California right now isn't enough. And remember, Peter Hotez said that on January 21st, we're going to see an influx of those diseases. We'll see, folks. See anything else trending right now? Oh, well, there's okay. There has been a lot of conversation about Tim Pool. I guess there's a rumor right now that Timcast, that the Tim Pool media empire is being either bought out or merging with the Daily Wire. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of opinions. Cookie's asking for a kiss, calling me cute, and then saying sorry. Fair enough. Look, I know everyone out there is going to be like, "Oh yeah, Tim Pool, Jewish shield, whatever." Look, quite frankly, I wrote off Tim Pool and most of the Daily Wire long ago. I would never watch any of the daily programs from either media outlets. I will occasionally watch a Matt Walsh movie, just because, you don't often get feature films aimed at conservatives that get distributed in mainstream theaters. Another thing, check out some of the stuff James O'Keefe has been doing this week. He's gotten a few pretty good interviews from the member of the National Security Council and the Undersecretary of Homeland Security. A couple of nice little covert journalism pieces. Shout out to James O'Keefe. Go check out O'Keefe Media Group on X. And I think that's about all I've got for today. Again, sorry for the abrupt restroom break, but it just hit me all at once. I've been drinking a whole lot of water lately. So, and again, cheers to all you out there. Once again, hit that like button. Whatever platform you're watching me on, hit that like button. And if you're new here, go ahead and follow me. Watch a second video, leave a comment, and of course, come on back for the next show, which should be this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central, same bat time, same bat channel, right here, whether it be X, Rumble, or YouTube. Wherever you're watching me right now, come on back and chat with me this Saturday. Let's see here. If you're watching this later on demand, feel free to leave a comment. Big cheers to anyone out there watching later. Cookie says erection. Erection. Yes, erection. Trump incited an erection, according to a lot of Democrats. I saw someone made like a viral video, and now I can't find it. Oh, wait, I think I found it. Here we go.
His various cases of, he's got charges of inciting an erection.
Donald John Trump incited the erection.
They didn't like Donald Trump. They said he participated in an erection.
Let's talk about the fact that President Trump incited an erection.
Okay, so there you have it. So yeah, folks, come on back this Saturday, 6 p.m. Central. Same bat time, same bat channel, and follow along, watch along, chat along if you can. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on one of the platforms that you can get notifications, make sure you sign up for notifications. Until then, Cookie says, "Foe away mild," that I'm lusting. Yes, I'm going to be lusting. I'm going to be lusting for some tacos. Going to be eating some tacos after the show today. So yeah, I'm going to go find me some tacos. And until next time, take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. Outlast the haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. Good night.